What is up, everybody? Welcome to Pub Sports Radio. This is the Draftkings Picks and Predictions show, and this is the last show of the year. It's been a fun ride, but yeah, we are coming to an end. I am here with Weezy, Gordo, and Monk as always. Weezy, what is up? You looking forward to the last card of the year?
Yeah, man, I am. It's 14 fights. It's a good card. It's a good fight night card. We've had some fight night cards that were straight ass, but this one is good from top to bottom. I mean, hell, like one of the first 4 fights of the night is Kakhramonov against Nurmagomedov. So, yeah, we're getting treated to a good card here. A lot of great angles for DK, and we're going to finish up our contest, which is awfully close. It's been a great competition all year long, so I'm looking forward to ending it with a bang this week.
Absolutely. We got Monk in the room. Monk, what is up? You looking forward to the last card of the year?
Absolutely, guys. It's been a pleasure for the last year. I love this card, man. I mean, I've got a bunch of dogs picked. I think there's a lot of variance here, a lot of wide lines that hopefully we can take advantage of. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, and last but not least, we got Gordo. Gordo, what is up? You looking forward to the card?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it for sure. And we are a bit on vacation here, so if I lag out at all, just move on without me. That's okay. I am looking forward to this card. Should be a fun one, and looking forward to try to reclaim that throne one last time on this contest at the end of the year.
Let's go. We'll talk about the contest later on. Before we get into it, if you guys can like the video, subscribe here to Pub Sports Radio. It is always well appreciated. But I say we get right into it, and we're going to start with the fight to target. We'll start with you, Gordo. What is your favorite fight to target for this week?
Me, why? Thank you. I'm going to talk about Oleksiejczuk versus friend of the MMA engine, Cody Brundage. I think this is a very, very fight. You already minus 285 not to go the distance. I think this is one that's just action packed. I think in this spot in particular, Cody Brundage is a guy who's going to make this a high scoring fight, whether it be him initiating the exchanges, be able to land takedowns on someone like Oleksiejczuk. Oleksiejczuk is a guy who gave up downs to someone like Jimmy Crute, and every time he has been taken down, he has lost his fight. So there's definitely a path to victory for an underdog in 6'8" Cody Brundage. But as much as I like the guy, we have to acknowledge the fact that he has a chin who has been cracked. He can be hit. He can be hurt. And this is a spot here where Michał Oleksiejczuk carries a lot of power. So I think one way this does finish early, scoring very well. I just think both win conditions for these fighters is the one that's going to be a good shot to be optimal.
Yeah, I went with the same thing. Minus 270, minus 285. Like you said, fight doesn't go to decision. There's not a ton of fights favored to end inside the distance this week. This is one I'm pretty confident does, and I think it does finish early as well. I think Michał Oleksiejczuk definitely has a good chance to find that first round finish. And if Cody Brundage is able to get on top, from what we've seen of Michał's ground game, it has not been good. We saw Crute be able to take him down 7 times and sub him. OSP got him down and subbed him instantly as well. So yeah, I think both guys have passed the victory here, and both guys have passed to scoring well. So I like this fight as well. I'm going to be very, very heavily exposed to it, if not all in on this fight. Weezy, what is your favorite fight to target this week?
I'm going to give you a Battle versus Fakhretdinov. It's a small sample size so far, but I see this being a striker versus grappler matchup, and both guys are really busy fighters when they're in the cage with really good work rates. 4.24 DraftKings points a minute for Battle, 5.24 DraftKings points a minute for Fakhretdinov. Plus, it's a mid-range salary fight, so there's definitely value on whoever wins this fight from a price standpoint. So I think it's actually a pretty good one to target, and I think it was the last fight made on this card as well. So wrestler, high upside for Fakhretdinov in a decision, and Battle's got really tricky subs, and he throws a lot of volume on the feet, and he's got a good get-up game when he does get taken down. So, I mean, I think it's going to be a competitive, up-and-down, high-paced fight, so it should be really good for DraftKings.
Yep, I like that one as well. Monk, how about you? What is your favorite fight to target? On the last show?
On the last show, the kid mutes himself. Come on.
Had to be done. We know for nostalgia's sake. I'm going to give you Duran Win and Julian Marquez. 8.5. Let's see. Average fight time, 8.5 minutes. Over 8 points per minute scored between them and their opponents. 8 points for them, 16 points total DraftKings points per minute, I should say. Average score of 68.75 just in bonus points anytime these two guys fight. 75% of their last 4 fights, 75% of those fights rather have gone over 100 points. Every single one has finished each of their last 4 fights, and twice someone has made the optimal lineup, guys. This one has finish written all over it. And if Duran Win can get some takedowns on the easily taken down Marquez. Wynn's got a definite path to victory. Marquez has a path to victory. I just love this one. Love it if it goes the distance. Love it if it finishes as well for DraftKings.
Yep, I think that's another really good one where both guys have paths to scoring well. Let us move on to the fight to fade. I will kick this one off. Yeah, I kind of struggled to find a fight to fade, but I went with Manel Kopp, David Dvorak here. The reason being is I do like Kopp to win this fight, but he's 9,100. And the thing with Kopp is he's a really good finisher. He's finished all but one of his wins. But my concern with him is he's so low volume at times that I think he's reliant on a first round finish. And for you to rely on a flyweight to finish the fight in the first round, I don't know if I love that. So this is one I'm probably going to stay away from. 9,100 for Kopp, 7,100 for Dvorak. I think I can go elsewhere with it. Weezy, what is your fight to fade for this week?
Tsarukyan Ismagulov. It's the second least likely fight to end inside the distance. These guys are very well matched. The biggest problem with owning either of these fighters is that they're both very defensively responsible. They're only allowing 1.84 and 1.33 DraftKings points per minute. So two really accomplished defensive fighters, both of them with really good wrestling and really good takedown defense, and both of them with really good striking defense. It means, if somebody doesn't get sparked here, I mean, there's almost no likelihood of this thing going optimal. So I think it's a really good fight to avoid because it's a low-scoring fight with not much of a chance of finishing.
Yep, I think that's a good one as well. Monk, how about you? What is your fight to fade?
I completely agree. It's Tsarukyan and Ismagulov. While I personally favor the underdog here, 7,300 is a decent price for him, but his opponent not so much, a bit too high in my opinion. Like Weezy said, defensively sound. I mean, Ismagulov alone allows 1.3 points a minute. It's nothing. It's next to nothing. The best number on the card. He allows 0.1 takedown points per minute. Tsarukyan coming off that loss to Gamrot is going to have a lot to prove. But I think Ismagulov is going to give him a decision fight. And I think the winner scores, especially if it's Ismagulov, 60, 70, 80 points. Nothing that's going to make the optimal lineup. So give me a big fade for this one.
There we go. And then Gordo, how about you?
Yeah, I'm going to make it 2-2 and go with Dvorak and Kopp as well. I think this is a fight where, especially being a fight favor to go the whole 50 minutes, and you got a guy like David Dvorak who's really only scored above points never scored above 100. I think he slows his fight down. I think it takes it down to a extended fight, and I don't think Kopp can live up to his salary either, fading the Kopp versus Dvorak fight.
All right, there we go. Lots of agreement on the fight to fade. Let's talk about the fighter to fade. And we'll start with you, Monk. What fighter are you fading this week?
I'll give you a high-end fighter that I generally like, but I'm kind of going to fade this week, and that's Jake Matthews, 9,200. Kid scores 3 points a minute, 91, almost 92 points per win. He's barely 10xing at that point, so that's nothing that I'm generally too interested in. He is fighting Matthew Semmelsberger. Allows a decent amount of points, 3.14 per minute, but when he loses, he only gives up 75 on average, so... on top of that, Jake Matthews is almost $700 more than his average salary. There's just plenty of guys in the $9,000, $9,600 range that I'm interested in more than Jake Matthews. And I actually think the dog stands a chance here. So I'll be fading Jake Matthews this week at 9,200.
Nothing wrong with fading Jake Matthews on DK, except for last time, but typically it works.
Yeah.
Weezy, how about you? What fighter are you fading this week?
I'm going to go with Drew Dober. Bobby Green is very defensively responsible, and I see this being primarily a striking match. I think Green's the better minute winner, so I don't really like the $8,600 price tag on Dober this week. Green only allows 2.38 DraftKings points a minute over a massive sample size, and Dober scores about 3. So if Dober doesn't finish Green, I see him scoring less than like 75 points in a decision win. And really, even though Green has been knocked out twice, one of them was by, Makhachev on the ground. So, I mean, it's not like Drew Dober, is such an explosive striker that he's going to one punch just clean Bobby Green's clock, especially as hard as Bobby Green is to find out there. So, yeah, I don't like the price on Dober this week. I'm going to avoid him.
All right, fading Dober. And then Gordo, how about you?
Yeah, I like both those options. I'm going to kind of take the easy way out and talk about the same fighter that I mentioned in my fight to fade and talk about Manel Kopp. 9.1 K. He's coming off back-to-back first-round knockouts. I get that. Good for you. respect you for scoring those high scores. But I do think this is a fight where Dober can be able to stay defensively sound, to keep it at a slower pace. I don't think at 9-point weight he's able to live up to that salary, especially compared to the people around them. With the Jake, well, I know we're talking about Jake Matthews, but Mazarov, Oleksiejczuk, Albazi, all those really hard for me to get someone to Manel Kopp, and I do think it's an extended fight. Twitch doesn't score that well.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Cheyanne Vlismas 9,000. I actually like her to win this fight, but the way I see this fight playing out is her keeping it on the feet, outpointing Cory McKenna across 3 rounds. The fight is, I think, plus 220 to end inside the distance. So I don't like that. And at 9,000, I mean, there's other fighters I do like more around that price range. You got Oleksiejczuk there at 9,400. You got Julian Marquez, who's cheaper. Manel Kopp even. At 9,100, I think I'd rather play there. So I'm going to be getting away from Vlismas this week at 9K. All right, moving on to the favorite dog here. We'll start with you, Weezy. Who's your favorite dog for UFC Vegas 66?
I think a nice safe play this week is Jared Cannonier. He should last the full 5 rounds. He has 0 grappling upside, but in a 25-minute fight, he's safe to play with a solid floor. That should be around 50 points in a decision loss. Plus, this fight is a coin flip, so if he does win, it's a very good look at the current price that he's at. He's got the 8th best inside the distance line on the slate and the 18th highest salary. So he's definitely a bargain for the finishing equity that he brings in and for the 5-round equity that he has in this fight against a guy in Strickland who's not a great finisher at this level. So I think Jared's a really safe underdog play.
Yep, I went with that one, but there's a couple other that stick out, so I'll touch on Bobby Green, 7,600. Love the volume from Green. I mean, the guy's landing almost 6 significant strikes per minute, especially recently. I mean, his volume has been incredible. On top of that, I feel like he has a sneaky path to victory to mix in takedowns here against Dober, who has a 54% takedown defense and has struggled with the takedowns in the past. And Bobby Green is a really good wrestler. His fight IQ is not the best, but if he wrestles, he can mix up those, get those takedown points. Get the striking points there. And I think in a decision win for Bobby Green, he can score very well at 7,600. So I do like Bobby Green as my favorite dog, and as well as Jared Cannonier there. Gordo, how about you? Who's your favorite dog for this week?
Yeah, I like Bobby Green as well, but I'm going to talk him on a fighter of many, actually, who have a wrestling path to victory here. And I'm going to take kind of the easy way out once again with the dog this week in Kakramanov, $8,000. Technically, as an underdog, don't get anything confused there, but I just think he has a very solid chance to secure takedowns at a high rate. He's going to go for them at 10 his last time out. This guy has the ability to go out there and push at a very high pace and is going to score very, very well in DraftKings. I mean, he took down the DraftKings golden boy, Ronnie Lawrence last time, right? So he's going to go out there, he's going to shoot takedowns, he's going to be very active in doing so. And against a guy who's as technically, but also really just crazy out there as say Nurmagomedov, you're going to have the opportunity to do so, and I think he's going to do it early and often. So I don't mind Sadyku Kakramanov as an underdog this week. Hey, you did it too.
How the turns have tabled.
Dang it, man. I'm like half asleep over here. Monk, how about you? That's 2 now.
Shit. I'm going to go with Duran Win. And guys, I would usually never even say this guy's name. But honestly, looking at the numbers, he's one of the best DraftKings scores on the entire card, over 4 points a minute. When he does win, he scores 112 on average. He's 560 under his average salary. He lands almost 2 points a minute in takedowns control time. Now, there's a few reasons for this. Most of them are named Julian Marquez. Marquez, and correct me if I'm wrong, was last listed as fighting out of Glory MMA and Fitness. I don't know if you've ever heard of that camp, but there's a bit of turmoil happening in that one, maybe some instability, if that's a word. Instability, that's the word I'm looking for. Julian Marquez allows 4.6 points per minute, worst on the card. 109.75 is what he gives up when he loses, averages more than 2 points per minute given up in takedowns and control time. His takedown defense is 43.5%. These numbers are why I'm telling you that Duran Win is one of my favorite dogs this week. At 7,500, if he lands takedowns, he could, I hate when people say break the slate. He can score 120 points at $7,500. I mean, that would be pretty crazy. It would allow you to get to your Amir Albazis, other guys up around that area. So give me Duran Win, because I think Marquez is no bueno.
Yeah, I mean, if Maki Patola can take you down, I mean,
Dude, come on.
anybody can take you down. That is for sure. All right, let's talk some prize picks, guys. We'll start with you, Gordo. Anything stick out to you in prize picks?
I will say Prize Picks did a decent job this week. Not too many of them are sticking out of the page or jumping out of the page at me, but I'm going to take the under on Michał Oleksiejczuk significant strikes at 33.5. I think it's a pretty binary fight. Either he's going to be able to walk him down and clip the chin of someone like Cody Brundage, or he's going to be wrestled and taken down. And I'm not going to put it past Brundage to find a way to get Michał out of there. But even at that, I do think that off his back, he's not going to throw up much volume. And Michał Oleksiejczuk has only scored or thrown above 33.5 significant strikes in fights that have gone the full 15, which I don't think this one is doing.
Unbelievable. Yeah, I had that one as well. That was my favorite play, under 6.5 minutes there. So I agree with you, Gordo. Weezy, was there anything that stuck out to you?
I'm looking right now. Dude, pass me up for a second.
All right, Monk, was there anything that stuck out for you?
Pick me up, pass me around. Sorry. No, I love Amir Albazi under 10 minutes. Is that for real? Like under, do you think this guy is going against a contender series fighter that scored like 2 points a minute and almost lost the fight? And he's going against a guy that just flatlined Figueiredo in less than a round. Like, I'd be shocked if this gets out of the first round. I think Amir Albazi is going to absolutely roll him here. Under 10 minutes is a gift.
So we're like in the under in the Albazi and then the Oleksiejczuk. Weezy, did you find anything?
Yeah, I mean, like the number on Strickland's significant strikes at 107.5. So Sean's averaging 5.54 per minute. So, I mean, if that fight were to go the full 5, you'd be looking at about 130 significant strikes. And, Cannonier absorbs 3.5, but a lot of his fights have taken place in control time positions. I think that this fight takes place 80 to 90% of the time in the stand-up. So, I like the over on Sean Strickland's significant strikes this week.
Sean Strickland over insignificant strikes. All right, there we go. Yeah, I'm just double checking to see if anything else really stuck out. Yeah, there's not a ton that really sticks out this week. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. But I do like the ones we did mention there. But yeah, guys, if you do want to sign up on Prize Picks with promo code Pub Sports, check it out. Very fun thing to play weekly there. All right, we'll keep moving on. We have our favorite GPP play, and we will start with you, Gordo. Who are you liking this week?
We are taking Lord Michał Oleksiejczuk 9.4K. He's my favorite GPP play. Same reason I just talked about taking his under significant strikes. I love his forward pressure. We just saw Brundage be walked down by someone in Tresean Gore. I think that Oleksiejczuk is going to be able to walk him down, find the button, and get him out of there early on. It should be a fight that finishes early, and if that's the case, give me this 9.4K salary all day.
Yeah, I like that. I'm going with Julian Erosa, 8,800 here. I love his style, and I think he scores very well in this matchup. He has great cardio, pressure, and pace, and he likes to break opponents. And I could definitely see him breaking Caceres. Caceres has been finished quite a few times, mostly by submission. But Julian Erosa does have a solid submission game. He has a lot of power as well, and I think he does break Caceres and finish him late and along the way, racking up takedowns, volume, and that late finish upside there. So let me some Julian Erosa at 8,800. Typically don't like playing him as a favorite. He's never a favorite, so that's the only sketchy thing here. But I think in a win, Julian Erosa does have some solid upside. Monk, how about you? Who are you liking as far as the GPP play goes?
I'll give you an underdog. I mean, a little GPP has to have a little risk in there, right? Give me Said Yakubkak-Ramanov at 8,000. 4.84 points a minute, 109 when he wins. He's only $400 over his average salary, while he scores 2.84 points per minute in takedowns and control time. He landed 10 takedowns against the wrestler Ronnie Lawrence, 2 takedowns against Trevin Jones. I mean, his ceiling is extremely high. Said Nurmagomedov has allowed takedowns. He allowed 1 to Silva de Andrade, and he allowed 2 to Aoni Barcelos, who he lost to in that very fight. So Said usually does not allow a ton of points, but I think Kak-Ramanov has the ability to put him up on him, especially if he can, get some quick takedowns early. I think he can wear on Nurmagomedov a bit. So give me the underdog is one of my favorite GPP plays.
Taking the dog as a GPP play. I like it. Weezy, how about you?
I'm going with Amir Albazi. I mean, I like a lot of mid-range fighters this week, so it's going to be easy for me to get Amir into my lineup. He's the biggest favorite on the card. He's great everywhere. a lot of finishing equity because he's got power in his strikes and he's got a fantastic submission game. Should absolutely shave ass here, and I think it's a nice cornerstone for your lineup this week.
Yep, and I think it's pretty easy to get him. There's a lot of like lower plays to stick out this week. So, yep, I will be having my fair share as well. Let's go to our favorite cash play. I'll start. This is one guy that I already kind of talked about for the favorite dog, but it's Bobby Green for cash here, 7,600. I love the price tag here. I think at the very worst, it's going to be a very close fight here. I love the volume of Bobby Green. I think he has takedown upside, and I like the durability. Weezy touched on it a little bit. The guy's very durable, only knocked out a couple times, and one of those was against Islam Makhachev with that grounded pound. So yeah, I feel pretty comfortable with having Bobby Green in there. Save some salary at 7,600. Weezy, how about you? Who's your favorite cash play this week?
I'm going to go with Julian Marquez. He's got the third best inside the distance line on the slate, yet he's the 8th most expensive salary, so it makes sense. And if Wynn doesn't wrestle successfully for all 3 rounds, he's going to get finished at some point by Marquez, who's got a 100% finish rate as a pro. And Deron Wynn, it just frankly isn't very good. I mean, the guy's a top-notch wrestler. But even he, like you look in the Arroyo fight, if Arroyo wasn't completely fucking out of gas, he's not able to get those takedowns in the 3rd round and get that top control. So we've really only seen him do it once so far. And I think Marquez is a little bit tougher, a little bit more durable, and has a lot more heart than Antonio Arroyo. So I think he finds the finish at some point in this fight. And with the price combined with the 100% finish rate in the inside the distance line, I think it's great value as well.
Yep, I don't mind that. I think that fight in general is a phenomenal fight to target.
Either way, yes.
Yeah, you got the finish upside for Marquez, and if Deron Wynn is to pull off the upset, he puts up a massive score, getting takedowns. So I like it. Monk, how about you? Who are you liking for cash this week?
I also think a key to a good fight to target is both guys aren't good. And that is a great fight to target for sure. I think there's one obvious choice. It's Amir Albazi all day. I'd have him in every single cash lineup. I don't know why this fight is even happening. Again, he rolled over Francisco Figueiredo, who's probably better than Alessandro Costa, someone who's never fought in the UFC before. So, this should be it should be easy, like blowout victory.
Yep, one of the safer plays on the slate, that is for sure. Gordo, how about you? Who are you liking for cash?
Yeah, I was expecting a few of you guys to talk about Albazi, so I got another option here that I knew no one would take. Let's go Rafa Garcia as a cash play there, just because he's facing a guy who, to me, I supported him his last time, I cheered for him. He's a guy who, for me, is knockout or bust. I don't think the Monk is going to have the volume. I don't think he's going to have any takedown upside. I don't think he's going to have anything else. So if he can't get that knockout, to which Rafa Garcia has never been knocked out before, you have to think he's got a good path to victory here, right? So Rafa Garcia, I think he's going to have more volume, more takedown upside, and good win equity in the spot. And at the 8.4K salary allows you to go up and get people like the Amir Albazis of the world.
Sounds good. All right. A couple more here. We'll move on to our favorite value play. We'll start with you, Monk. Any value sticking out this week?
Oops, now I'm unmuted. Yeah, I'm going to go with the opposite of what Gordo just said. Give me some value on Mahashate, beating up another guy named Garcia. And for the record, guys, we do this every week. I did it on my video. Rafa Garcia is from Mexico. It is not Rafa Garcia. That's a PSA for all you content creators out there. Give me Mahashate, underdog salary, 7,800. He scored a couple of points per minute in his last fight. I don't know. It was like something around 18.5 points per minute. 112 is what he got in that win. He's exactly the same salary as he was before. He's fighting the guy with the exact same name as he was before, pretty much. I'm going with Mahashate here. If he gets it done against Garcia, it's probably going to be early, and he's probably going to pay off that salary. So, give me Mahashate for some value.
Yep, Mahashate is 1-0 against Garcia's. Let's see if he can go 2-0.
2-0, baby.
Oh, yeah. For me, there's a couple ones that stick out in terms of value. I'm gonna go with Jared Cannonier, though, 7,700. I think this is a pretty close fight here. And, Sean Strickland wins. I think it's going to be across 5 rounds, with the volume, the really good striking. But he's going to give Jared Cannonier the fight he wants, and that's going to be standing right in front of him and trading. And Jared Cannonier does have some solid power. Sean Strickland just coming off a knockout loss. And obviously Cannonier is not what's his face, Alex Pereira, but he does hit pretty hard in his own right. So, yeah, I don't mind some Cannonier, 7,700. I think it's going to be a pretty back and forth war here with Cannonier having most of the finishing upside. Gordo, how about you? Who are you liking for a value play?
Yeah, this is making me sick to say out loud, but Deron Winn, he's value all day. His win condition is something that's going to score through the roof, in my opinion, against a guy with that weak takedown defense, like other people have mentioned today. Deron Winn, 7.5K. That is some value right there if he is able to pull off and put up another 12 takedown, just like he did against Arroyo here. I think that's definitely possible. Winning condition scores well, and that's all you need for value.
There we go. Yeah, I cannot deny that one. And then Weezy, how about you?
Cody Brundage for value. I mean, Cody's dirt cheap this week. He's got real grappling upside. Oleksiejczuk has lost all 3 fights in the UFC where he yielded 1 takedown or more. We look for dogs that have grappling upside and have a path to victory, and Brundage fits both of those categories. He's the second cheapest fighter on the card, which means that out of these 28 fighters, he's got the 27th best chance to win. Yet his inside the distance line is 16 out of 28. So it just goes to show you that even though the bookies aren't giving him much of a chance to win, they are admitting that he's got a much better chance to win inside the distance than another 10 people below him. So I think that that's very relevant. In this case, at $6,800 for a guy that is probably going to get takedowns, is probably going to get control time, and could potentially get a win if Oleksiejczuk hasn't fixed that massive hole in his ground game, I think it's a really good spot for him.
Yep, I totally agree, and I'll be talking about him right now with my dart throw. It is going to be Cody Brundage here. I think he has a path to victory. He's 6,800. And by the way, I can't wait to hear the interview, hopefully tonight, with Cody Brundage on the MMA Engine, but I wanted to listen to that, see what he has to say. I'm hoping he comes out here and wants to create some chaos. I would like him to get the fight down to the mat, and if he does, like, Oleksiejczuk just looks so uncomfortable off of his back, and Brundage's ground game is really good. Really good ground and pound. He's able to get into dominant positions, good submission game. I feel like if he can get on top, he has a serious path to win the fight here. So my dart throw is going to be Cody Brundage at 6,800. Monk, how about you? Who's your dart throw this week?
I love that one. I'll pivot to someone who's probably going to have next to no ownership and just hope for a win, and that's David Dvorak going against Manel Kape. Nobody's going to be talking about David Dvorak. He scores 2 points a minute, 75 is what he puts up per win, but he is 3-1 in the UFC. 16 of his 20 professional wins have come by way of finish. 8 of those have been submission. It should be noted Manel Kape has been subbed twice in his professional career, rather. Never been KO TKO, just subbed as a way of finish. So give me David Dvorak, because his ownership is probably going to be like under 10%. I mean, outside of whoever's 6,600, I just had it. Now I can't think of it. I don't think anyone's going to be less owned than him, most likely. So give me David Dvorak for a dart throw.
David Dvorak for a dart throw. There we go. Weezy, how about you? Who are you liking as a dart throw this week?
I'm going with the Greek girl, Cheyanne Vlismas, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think a lot of people are going to get to Cheyanne this week at all because of the names around her. I think that they've got a lot more finishing equity. And it's the worst fight doesn't go to decision line on the slate, but Cheyanne is the best striker that Cory's ever faced. And I think that there's a sneaky possibility that Cheyanne actually gets the job inside the distance here. She's got much better takedown defense and a much better ground game than Elise Reed did. But even Elise Reed got up every time that Cory McKenna got her down. And Elise Reed's a white belt. Cheyanne Vlismas is not that. But I think when it's on the feet, if Cheyanne is able to get up a couple of times early in this fight, if Cory does take her down, I think she's going to get confident. I think she's going to pressure. And I think she's going to shave this girl's ass. And if she does, at 9,000, get a finish. And I got a funny feeling some of those other names around her aren't going to be getting finishes and maybe might not even be getting wins. I think Vlismas is a very interesting dart throw this week.
Yeah, that is very interesting. I think she's probably one of the lower the lower ownership fighters up top. So yeah, don't hate that. She's going to have a bigger striking advantage. If she can stuff the takedowns, we saw Elise Reed really beat up McKenna on the feet. Who is Gordo? Who is your dart throw?
Well, that's very, very interesting, Weezy, because I have written down right here my dart throw being the opposite in Cory McKenna.
God damn you,
Gordo. It's a dart throw, man. It's a dart throw, right? Like, it's one of these spots where you expect it to have low ownership. And to me, although I get it, I'm picking Vlismas to win. What's McKenna's path to victory? It's rinse and repeat takedowns going over and over again, which is going to score very, very well at a very low salary, in my opinion. So that is a dart throw. Maybe I'll have to incorporate in my lineup to get different from you this week. Who knows? But it is the dart throw I'm picking here.
So going with McKenna for the dart throw. We'll see what happens on that fight, man. Should be a good one. All right. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take a look at the scores from last week. We'll talk about the current standings. We'll give our new lineups. We'll give our quick picks, and then we will head out of here. All right. So I'm going to scroll all the way up in the group chat because there's a lot of action today in there. All right. So in last place, which it kind of like I had one of the best weeks of my life last week, but I still got last place in the contest, which kind of sucks. But I had Shabazian 94, Raul Rosas Jr. 106, Quarantillo 125, Chris Curtis 94, Stephen Kozlo 49, and Eric Silva 35 for 505.83. In third place was Gordo with Shabazian 94, Rosas 106, Quarantillo 125, Rosenstruck 129, Till 29, and Stephen Kozlo 49. He scored 535. And second place was, and first place was a tie. So and Monk and Weezy both had the same lineup. Ankalaev, I think it's the first tie in history of the show, but they had Ankalaev, Rosas 106, Quarantillo 125, Taporia 100, Curtis 94, and Gordon 58. We're all pretty close there, but yeah, guys, congrats on the first place win.
Yeah, I'll tell you something. I was the one who changed my lineup. Monk had that lineup first, and then the fight that we all pretty much had a piece of, except for Monk, with the De Silva fight that fell off. So then I switched to Monk's lineup, but I didn't know it was Monk's lineup when I switched to it. But I had Curtis down as the ass shaving of the week, and for the record, Monk and I deserve 60 more points because Ankalaev won that fight and fucking Jared Gordon won that fight. So like. Whatever it was that we scored, we should have had 60 more points than what we scored. What would that have been?
A lot. It would have been like 600 and
629, 52.
Yeah.
Tower Monk.
Hey, I agree completely. They screwed Jared Gordon. They screwed Magomed Ankalaev. They screwed your Uncle Weezy, and they screwed me as well. So, I mean, thank Douglas fucking Crosby. I swear to God.
Yeah, if Gordon would have won, I would have had the best lineup and then the second best lineup if Gordon would have won. So that cost me like a couple thousand. So that sucked. But current standings, it's close. We have one card left, 42 cards of the year. We are on card 42 right here. In fourth place is Weezy with 16,852. And third place is Monk with 16,945. And second place is Gordo with 17,033. And first place is me with 17,084. Gordo is 50 behind the leader. Monk is 138 behind the leader. And Weezy is 231 behind the leader. So we'll see who gets it done here. All right. Lineups for this week. We'll start with you, Weezy. What is your lineup?
Okay. I've got Amir Albazi up top, then Cheyanne Vlismas, then Julian Marquez, Saeed Nurmagomedov at 8,200, Jared Cannonier 7,700, and then the great Cody Brundage at 6,800, freeing up some salary to get all those other names in there.
Yep, give me Albazi, give me Erosa, give me Cannonier, give me Green, give me Battle, and then give me Garcia. Pretty sure I'm going to change this, though. Monk, how about you? What is your lineup for this week?
Oh, man, this is working out just so perfectly. I'm saving some salary. I'm going to give you 4 dogs in my lineup. This is all or nothing week right here, boys. It's going to be Amir Albazi and then Michał Oleksiejczuk, Saeed Yakub Kakramanov, Mahashate, Duran Win, Damir Ismagulov. 4 dogs for the win. Let's go, baby.
Go big or go home, Monk. And then Gordo, how about you? What is your lineup for this week?
Oh, I lost my back.
Yep, you're back.
Okay. Yeah, I was listening to those lineups, and isn't it crazy that my lineup sounds closer to Monk's? Man, Weezy, we are head-to-head this week. One of us is going to go down huge because I'm going a bit different here. Albazi up top, Oleksiejczuk, Fakhretdinov, Kakramanov. Then we're going to go Duran Win and Cory McKenna.
There we go.
I think I'm four of them head-to-head against Weezy.
I picked 4 dogs.
I can pick on. Let's hope that there's no cancellations.
4 dogs, and I still have 4 fighters the same as somebody else. This is some bullshit. Damn.
Maybe you should go 5 dogs instead.
Maybe 5 dogs, I guess.
Albazi and then the rest are dogs.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm excited. Man, hopefully don't blow it. That would kind of suck. But yeah, we'll see what happens. All right. Lastly, we'll go over our quick picks and then we will head out of here. Weezy, what are your quick picks for UFC Vegas 66?
All right, I'm going Sean Strickland, Arman Tsarukyan, Amir Albazi, Julian Erosa, Bobby Green, Cody Brundage, Cheyanne Vlismas is Uncle Weezy's ass shaving of the week. We got Matthews, win by decision, Nurmagomedov, Mahashate, Battle, Kopp, and Morozov.
I'm going to go Cannonier, give me Tsarukyan, Albazi, Erosa, Bobby Green, Oleksiejczuk, Vlismas, Marquez, Matthews, Kakhramonov, Rafa Garcia, Ryan Battle, Manel Kopp, and then Sergey Morozov. Monk, how about you?
We'll go Morozov, Manel Kopp, Fakhretdinov, Mahashate, Kakhramonov, Duran win for the win. Jake Matthews. Actually, no, we're going to go Semmelsberger on that one. Cheyanne Vlismas, Oleksiejczuk, Bobby Green. Sorry, my dog is running around crazy out there. Bobby Green, Julian Erosa, Amir Albazi, Arman. Actually, no, Damir Ismagulov, and Sean Strickland.
And last but not least, Gordo, how about you?
I think he might be frozen. He's on mute and he's not moving. And I don't think it's a bit.
I hear him though. Wait, Gordo.
Back?
Yes.
Yeah.
Back.
Yep.
Hotel Wi-Fi is catching up to me, man. It's catching up to me. We're going to go Sean Strickland in the main event, Arman Tsarukyan in the co-main, Amir Albazi, Julian Erosa, Bobby Green, Michał Oleksiejczuk, Cheyanne Vlismas, Jake Matthews, Julian Marquez, but I'm cheering for Duran win. If you ain't first, you're last. Give me that upside. Sadiku Kakhramonov, Rafa Garcia, Renat Fakhretdinov, David Dvorak for the upset, and Sergey Morozov.
All right, there we go. Last but not least, we have to let everybody know where they can find you guys. Weezy, let the people know where they can find you, what you have going on throughout the rest of the day. I think you have 2 shows potentially tonight.
Yes, 2 more shows tonight. One, 7 o'clock Central Time, 8 o'clock Eastern, MMA Engine YouTube channel. We're going to be interviewing the one, the only Cody Brundage about his upcoming fight at UFC Vegas 66 against Michał Oleksiejczuk. Also tonight, 10 o'clock Central Time, Ask Weezy. This is a show where you get to ask Weezy things. We've been doing it for a minute. And then after that, Brady, I'm going to give these guys a greasy 4-leg parlay at some point on Thursday. And then you won't be seeing your Uncle Weezy for like a month while we take some time off, while I rebuild my database, while we enjoy the holidays with our families, my birthday, all these things that are going to be happening over this break. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yep, I'm looking forward to it as well. Monk, where can they find you, and what do you have going on throughout the rest of the week?
Well, if we're lucky, we might, we might have a Delice sighting this weekend. Delice in Cheyanne Vlismas's corner. So we'll just have to see. Sorry, I saw it in the chat, and I got to do it. Find me. Let's see. Salary Voodoo is out. Came out right before this show on the MMA Engine. We go over 3 fights to play or to avoid from a DraftKings GPP perspective. Right after this at 6 p.m. Central Time, my video Game Theory, where I break down all 14 fights from a DFS perspective in about 40 minutes or so. That will be live on the Monk Maddox channel. Happy Hour with Monk and Lou on Friday. And then after that, guys, from then until New Year's Eve, I'm going to be pre-recording some best of series, best of each and every weight class, specifically when it comes to DraftKings. So be sure to check that out. Probably like 15, 20-minute videos. And then on like New Year's Eve, I'll have a wrap up. Maybe we'll even do it live. Who knows? It depends. But yeah, be sure to check all that out and have a happy holidays, guys.
Happy holidays indeed. Last but not least, Gordo, anything going on? And you doing any content at the hotel, or you got all your stuff done already?
After this, I'm done. I'm going to lock in my Ironman lineup, my lock of the night lineup. I ain't talking about fights until after the break. Hopefully just cashing some checks this week in the process. I'm not doing as much content over the break, so make sure to check these guys out. Check out all these beautiful guys above me. Thank you for taking me on, a quarter of the way through the year. I appreciate doing these shows with you guys. But I did put out a video this week at Plays Fade Sports on YouTube. You can also message me on Twitter at Gambles Gordo. Before I leave, I know you brought up the Litz. I had to mention, did you guys see the humanizing athletes for Cheyanne and Vlismas? When
I sure did.
Georgia?
I missed it.
Georgia.
Wait, is it what she said her favorite country is Georgia?
Yeah, she sure did.
How about that?
How about that?
Greece. Yeah. As somebody of Greek lineage, I'm insulted that she didn't choose Greece.
Delete it. She said like her favorite animal was like a bearded guy. I don't know. It was crazy on that interview. It was crazy.
Oh no, I gotta check that out.
I don't think that's true, but it's true. It's true. We know it's true.
There we go. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching all year. You guys have been awesome. Leave a like, subscribe, and best of luck on the last card of the year. We'll talk to you guys soon. See you.